So this is an idea I've been kind of wanting to do for a bit, mostly because, like, again, I'm excited to see Godzilla versus Marvel, so here we are with Godzilla versus Disney. Yeah. I kind of figured, you know what, since we're getting, we're basically getting a crossover we thought wouldn't happen ever again. I say again because, well, Godzilla was part of the Marvel Universe, and now legit Toho Godzilla is going to be part of an event where he's fighting the Marvel Universe. So let's apply that to what if he fought characters from the Disney Universe. So yeah, so here we go with a series of stories of Godzilla versus Disney. Yeah, so let's get started with the first one. So the first one is actually, of course, Godzilla versus Gravity Falls. And in this one, Godzilla is not in the universe. He's actually, like, not part of this universe. Basically, in this one, Ford is tinkering. This is a time period where Ford is still kind of tinkering with the portal. And he's thinking to himself, well, maybe I can, like, use it against Bill. Like, maybe I can use the portal to like, ricochet Bill's energy back at him or something of that nature. Basically, I want to use the thing that Bill tricked me into making against him. I think that could actually work. However, he opens up a portal and Godzilla has been he basically opened a doorway to the Toho universe. And Godzilla's there, and immediately, they're trying to be like, oh shit, close it. But what happened was the energy sent Godzilla out of that universe and into the Gravity Falls universe. So now Godzilla is attacking Oregon. Godzilla proceeds to just terrorize Oregon and most of Gravity Falls, leading him to just annihilate everything in his path. So of course, Ford and the rest of the Pines gang are like, oh shit, what do we do? How do we get, we gotta send this monster back to his universe. And in order to do that, they're like, well, maybe something in that universe could stop him. And they're like, well, didn't look like anything could. So they look around, and what they find is Mecha Godzilla. So what they do is go into the Toho universe, pull out, go into G-Force and steal Kiryu, and basically become the pilots for Kiryu. This leads to the entire Pines family to pilot Kiryu and battle Godzilla and drag him back to their universe. Back to his universe, and leave Mecha Godzilla there. And that's when Ford's like, well, shit, I'm never doing that again. Who's up for crosswords? So, also, if you're wondering, these stories don't have any continuity connection. They're all just kind of their own one-and-done things. In the next one, Godzilla versus Hercules. Godzilla versus Hercules is basically... Godzilla, in this story, is a monster that has been who's just basically been asleep in the depths of the ocean for ages, and Hades proceeds to be like, hey, you, wake up. And it's basically like, he knows he's like some kind of primordial Hades is aware that Godzilla is not a Titan, he's something else. Like, he came from the age before gods. And Godzilla after Hades wakes him up, Hercules, who at this time is still like unaware that it's Hades fucking with him, we're basically in the montage of the movie. So Godzilla is woken up. He proceeds to terrorize Athens in his wake, leading Godzilla to battle Hercules when he goes to Thebes. And Hades is like watching because he's like, man, I'm surprised I didn't think of this sooner. Like, this is the coolest fucking idea I ever had. I'm gonna have this Godzilla monster is like what I should have thrown at him from the get-go. Holy shit, why didn't I think of this before? And then it's revealed why, because Godzilla, you can't control Godzilla. Godzilla proceeds to not only do battle with and almost defeat Hercules, but rather than kill him, Godzilla's like, well, you're down. I'm not gonna even bother. He beats down Hercules and then proceeds to make his way through Greece towards Mount Olympus, leading to Hades going, hey, time out. time out. You were supposed to not only defeat but kill Hercules, you big lizard. You gotta leave that alone. I got plans for it. I can't have you I can't rule Olympus if you just burn it all down. Of course, Godzilla's just stomps on Hades and proceeds to make his way to Mount Olympus, where the Greek gods are there, and they already are like, "What did you do, Hades? We made sure to leave that one alone. He's not, And he's like, isn't he a Titan? He's like, no, he's something else. He came before us." So Godzilla proceeds to attack Mount Olympus, leading to the Greek gods to do battle with him. But if you know Rage Against Time, you know that didn't go well. So this leads to Zeus being like, okay, I got an idea, but no one's gonna like it. So he contacts Hercules, and he's like, Hercules, we can't beat it. The gods can't beat it. The gods can't beat it. You can't beat it, but maybe we can seal him away. So what they do is have Hercules release the Titans, and Godzilla does battle with them. Of course, it's a 5-on-1 fight, and Godzilla does hold his own for a bit, but the Titans do manage to seal him up. But rather than keep their, Zeus is basically like, cool, back in the hole you go, and proceeds to lock them back up. Godzilla, however, while he's sealed up in the prison that the Titans made for him, he's thrown to the deepest part of the sea. But if this was a comic, you'd see the cracks start to show in the little prison he's made. Following that is Godzilla versus Amphibia. In this one, Godzilla is part of the universe again, and in here, Godzilla has been attracted by this weird, he has this weird energy, reaching out to him from beyond, and it's Anne. Anne is radiating all this calamity energy, and Godzilla mistakes it for being a Titan. So this leads him to attack California, where G-Force and even Mechagodzilla try to do battle with him, but Godzilla's clearly looking for something, and that something is Anne. Anne, of course, powers up, gets her calamity powers going, and proceeds to do battle with Godzilla. Godzilla and her do battle, but Anne is like, this Anne is not fully connected with her powers yet. She's still learning. So she's still having some trouble here and there, but Godzilla's clearly, got her on the ropes. And that's when she gets the idea of, he thinks I'm a Titan, he thinks I'm a kaiju like him. He thinks I'm like him, so here's what I need to do. So she just basically, kneels down and is like, you win! I submit! You're the king! And Godzilla's just like, good. It just goes back into it, because it's he thought, and Hop Pop and Sprig are like, What did you do? You just kneeled down? I thought he was going to kill you. And Anne's like, I thought he was going to kill me too. But I guess he thinks I'm a kaiju like him because of all the power I have. He didn't want to kill me. He wanted me to submit to him. He wanted me to, acknowledge that he's the king. And there's no greater king than him. So, following that is Godzilla versus Star versus the Forces of Evil, or would it be called Forces of Godzilla, I guess you could call it. In this one, Ludo gets this brilliant idea that, the best way to take Muni is by force, and there's no greater force than a monster he's found on Earth called Godzilla. This leads to Ludo opening a gateway to Muni for Godzilla to come through. This leads to him tearing through all of Muni, battling giant monsters, and defeating even the Magical High Commission, until Star and Eclipsa have to use their powers together in order to form a portal to push him back into his universe. Among another one I thought of is another one I thought of, and again, feel free to add as many to have as many as you want in the comments below. But the next one is Godzilla versus Owl House. In this one, This is set after the series, and the Titan magic has been depleted because the Titan's dead. So they get it. So basically, Luz gets this idea of like, we need a Titan, we need someone to restart the magic, right? So how about we get, there's a monster on my Earth that we know of, there's a monster on my Earth. Maybe we can bring him here, and maybe that can jumpstart the magic here. And they're like, well, and she talks about Godzilla and all that. And it's like, well, he's Titan-like, so maybe you can bring him here, and we'll see what happens. Sure enough, Anne does lure Godzilla here, and the people of the Boiling Isles are like in awe of him because they're seeing a living Titan. They've been living on the bones of one, and Godzilla's just kind of looking down at him like, okay. So, however, the radiation that Godzilla pours out is not boding well with the magic. It's actually corrupt. It's actually like it's causing a disease in the what's left of the Titan magic on the Boiling Isles. So Luz is like, oh my god, this is my fault. I wanted so badly to bring the magic back that it's killing the island. So, and they're like, well, Godzilla, we can't make Godzilla move. He actually seems kind of content here. And she's like, I know, but we have to send him back to Earth. So this leads to Anne. I mean, why I keep trying to say Anne? Luz going in, with King's help, going into her Titan form to attack Godzilla and lure him back to Earth. Among others, we also have Godzilla versus Atlantis. In this one, Godzilla was a god in the Atlantean pantheon, and in this one actually features other kaiju, because in here, Kita is telling this story to Milo. This is after the first movie, and Kita's telling this story to Milo about this great battle that occurred in Atlantis when it was still above ground, like when it was still when it was still a kingdom above the surface. And basically, the power source they had that belonged to the royal family was coveted by greedy eyes from the stars. And Milo's like, wait, hold on. Are you saying people from the stars came down to try to take it? And they're like, and Kita's like, yeah, you don't believe in aliens? And he's like, I don't know what to believe anymore, but please continue. So Kita explains that these beings, who they call the Star Raider, the Star Conquerors, which turns out to be the Exilians from Planet X, led by, of course, the Controller. So the Controller and the rest of the aliens are like, we're here for that, we're here for that crystal and that power source you got, and we're gonna take it. So, the people of Atlantis are like, yeah, you guys are pretty strong, but we got power of our own, and we'll fight you. And Controller's like, yeah, we thought that we could take you on our own, but have you met Ghidorah? So they summon Ghidorah down, and Ghidorah proceeds to wreck shit. This leads to Kita's mother calling out, using the power of the crystal to call out to an ancient monster from beneath the sea. That, of course, being Godzilla. So Godzilla and King Ghidorah do battle in Atlantis, driving off the Exilians, but Godzilla is like just now in full rage mode and now is on the attack on Atlantis, leading to Kita's mother using the crystal to beat back Godzilla and force him back into the ocean. So those are just a few ideas right there. Also, one more. I do have one more. It's a little more unique. This one, Godzilla versus Gargoyles. But this one doesn't feature Toho Godzilla. This is Godzilla 98. Basically, in this story, this talks about what the Manhattan Clan was doing during the events of Godzilla 98. In this one, Zilla was in the midst of attacking New York, and this led to the Gargoyles not so like trying to fight the big lizard, but it's clearly beyond them. So this leads them to try to do like damage control while the military battles the monster. This also leads to them encountering another nest that was made by Zilla that wasn't in Madison Square Garden. This was made as a secondary nest by Zilla. So this led to to the Manhattan Clan doing battle with the baby Godzillas and also destroying that nest. So they had their own little side quest in that one. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much my few ideas for Godzilla vs. Disney. You guys tell me in the comments below what you guys think of it, and let me know what ideas for your Godzilla vs. Disney stories would be. Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.